So when we start long division, we're going to take the first term in our dividend and we're going to divide it by the first term in our divisor. So we're going to have x squared divided by x. And when we do this, we get x. Since this is a linear term, this is our linear part of our quotient. And I'm going to put it above the 3x so that we have all of our linear terms align in a column. That next step is to take that part of that quotient, x, and to multiply it through to x plus 1, our divisor. And when we do that, we get x squared plus x, and that's going to go under our given dividend. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to subtract this quantity from our dividend. And when we do that, our quadratic terms cancel out, which is what we want. And then we have 3x minus x, and we get 2x. Now I'm going to bring down this negative 2 and do the whole process over again. 2x divided by x gives me 2. That's the constant part of my quotient, my solution. And then I'm going to take that 2 and I'm going to multiply it through my divisor and get 2x plus 2. Now remember to put parentheses around the whole thing like I've been doing. And then when you subtract, your 2x's cancel out, but then you get negative 2 minus 2 and you're going to get negative 4. So this negative 4 becomes our remainder. So our final answer is x plus 2, but then we write the remainder as part of our solution, but it needs to be over our divisor. So this is our final answer. Alright, so let's look at one where we need a placeholder. Alright, so if I give you a problem like this, I gave you a dividend of a cubic function and then a divisor of a linear. Now the first thing I notice is that I'm missing my quadratic term right here. So what we're going to need is when we set up the division problem, we're going to need a placeholder, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so we're going to say 2x to the third plus 0x squared minus 4x plus 9. So this whole thing is being divided by 2x plus 6. Alright, so same steps as before. We're going to take the first term of our dividend, divide it by our first term of our divisor. So we have 2x cubed divided by 2x. And this is going to give us x squared. And I'm going to write that over my quadratic term. Because I have a placeholder, I can align everything now. So that should have been your first clue. You wouldn't have had anywhere to put that quadratic part of the quotient over anything in the dividend because you wouldn't have had a placeholder. So that should have been the first clue in case you ever forget to put in a placeholder when you need it in the dividend. Alright, and then we're going to take x squared and multiply through 2x plus 6. And I get 2x cubed plus 6x squared. I'm going to write that right down here. And then I'm going to put parentheses around the whole thing, and I'm going to subtract. My 2x cubes cancel out, and then you have 0x squared minus 6x squared, so it's going to be negative x squared. And then you bring down this minus 4, and then the whole thing starts all over again. Alright, so now on the side for my scratch work, I do negative 6x squared divided by 2x, and I get minus 3x. Alright, then I take that and I multiply it through my divisor. And I get negative 6x squared minus 18x. Parentheses around the whole thing, and now we're going to subtract. Alright, now after I subtract, my 6x squareds cancel out, and then I get negative 4x minus negative 18, which is like saying plus 18x, so I'm going to be left with 14x. And we have one more term to bring down, this plus 9, and we're going to divide one more time. And we're going to do 14x divided by 2x, and we're going to get 7. Now all my constants are aligned, and I'm going to take that 7, I'm going to multiply it by my divisor. And then I get 14x plus 42. And when I subtract, I get a remainder of negative 33. So when I write my final answer, it looks like this. X squared minus 3x plus 7 plus negative 33 over my divisor, which was 2x plus 6. And again, if you want to check to see if you're doing it correctly, you take your quotient, the solution we just got, you multiply it by your divisor, add this remainder value at the bottom, and then you should get the dividend, this part right here, what you were originally given. Now, the only thing else I want to say is if you were given a problem that said, okay, how about x to the fourth plus 5x minus 2, well, and then we divide it by x to the third plus 1. Well, not only do you need a couple placeholders here, but you also need one in the divisor, so that might happen. So if I just were to set this up, my divisor would be x cubed plus 0x squared, and I need one more, plus 0x plus 1. That's my divisor, and then my dividend would be x to the fourth plus 0x to the third plus 0x squared, and then I have my plus 5x minus 2. It looks really long, but just be careful when you do divide this whole problem out. But just keep in mind you can have placeholders in your dividend or your divisor, so be very careful of that.